All right, welcome everybody to this little quick intro on cleaning up a hard drive. So this is the beginning of the year that we're filming this. Little dog has never cleaned up a hard drive, so we're going to teach him. I figure we go live and teach everybody. So one of your spring cleaning, one of your beginning of the year tasks, maybe you do this on your birthday. Maybe you do it right after tax season, something like that, would be to think about your files, your digital stuff. So what we're looking at here is the hard drive. Another way we can look at the hard drive would be to open up File Explorer or the Navigator in Windows, click it on this PC, and you see all the different hard drives, and you get these little bar graphs that indicate, how big, how much stuff is in the hard drives. And when you open them up, you're just going to see files. And sometimes you'll see some file sizes, but it can be pretty daunting, pretty complicated, pretty difficult to figure out just how much stuff is in there. So this is a visual version of all that. It's a thing called WinDirStat. So I'm going to close it. Hopefully this doesn't take too long, but I'll use the opportunity to talk about it while it's opening again. And oh man, where did I put it? Let's see if I can find the thing. So I just installed it. It's a free software. I don't get paid for you to go there or nothing. It's just a software you can use if you want. And oh man, probably should not have closed it because I'm pretty sure it just runs from wherever it downloaded to. So I need to go find it now. And accept and next, install to program files. So I just need to go find the thing. There it is, WinDirStat. So now I'm just going to run this thing without installing it again. Alright, so bring it back over here. This is what it looks like. So essentially, I'm going to, once it's installed and running, you're just going to pick the hard drive. So I'm going to pick my C drive. See how big that C drive is? That's normally all you get as a bar graph. We're going to click OK. Now it's going to zip through all the files and read them. It's already done it once, so I don't know how fast it'll go. If it has to start all over, it might take a little while. So it's these little Pac-Mans are going to eat back and forth. They're not eating anything. They're just reading. They're looking around. They're going through all your folders. They're looking at all your stuff. And this isn't in the cloud. This is happening on your computer, so you should be okay with it. It's downloaded a lot. A lot of people use this software as far as security or privacy goes. But essentially what it is, it's a software that's on your machine, and now it's looking at everything in your folder, or everything in all your folders. So it started at the top and sent a little Pac-Man out to read everything out there. This green bar at the bottom is a progress bar. I guess I should probably, while it's doing this, go make sure that the volume is working on this. I've had some microphone issues recently. But I guess I should probably... Okay, it sounds like it's doing okay. So as it's reading all this data, this, go get yourself a cup of coffee, rub a dog on the belly, or whatever you're going to do. It's taking some time to do this. But what we're doing here is we're going to figure out what's on this hard drive, what there is that's valuable, what there is that's, can I get the, I guess not. What's valuable, what's huge, what's large, what's tiny, what's taking up a lot of room, and what's not taking up a lot of room. When you're looking at folders, some files aren't that big, so you might look at a folder with a lot of files in it and think, oh my, this must be taking up a lot of hard drive space. So what this does is visually give you an idea of just how much space you're talking about, what's taking up that, what's creating that bar graph, what composes that bar graph on your computer. All right, this obviously takes longer to run than it does to explain. And this is a factor of a lot of videos on my computer probably, or maybe the number of things on my computer. What do you have to get such licky? He sits here not licking until I start the show, and then he starts licking. So this thing is going to take a little bit more time. We could focus on the dog, I guess. Say hey to the dog, who's supposed to be learning this, but instead of actually paying attention, he's just licking himself. So he's pretty bad. If you have any ideas on how to get a dog to listen to basic computer maintenance and absorb it, I'd be interested. Because, like I say, I can lead them to the water, but I haven't been able to make them drink. All right, it's still turning away. There's only 2 little Pac-Mans reading. All right, well, what we have determined here, and I may or may not have remembered this from the past, is that every time you open it, every instance of it, it's going to read everything on your hard drive again. So be prepared for it to take a little time. I guess it seems like forever. Watch pot never boils type of thing, so it seems like it's taken forever here. But in reality, what are we, 6 minutes into the show? Probably started it a minute or 2 in, so it's maybe looking at for my hard drive, which is pretty full. 5 minutes, 6 minutes it'll end up taking here. So there we go. Once it's done, what you get is this cool visual that we started the show with, this cool visual of what's going on there. I probably don't need to do that. So what's neat about this, all right, puppy, you're down. You're out of here. You're out of here, buddy. You've just worn out. Everybody, you're welcome. You're gone. All right. And we'll just get rid of that puppy view down there. We don't need him anymore. So this is pretty neat. Now you can go down and just click on these boxes and see what it is. So this is SHOT Show 2022 Drive Up, 9.7 gigabytes. That's one file. So instead of me having to figure out where it is and what I should do with it, all I had to do is click on it. It locates it up top there. Now I can decide what to do with it or not. I can do that right from here if I want to. But for me, it's usually just identifying where the big files are. Okay, so here's a big file. I probably downloaded or something. It's a big Bayonet Buyer's Guide thing. So, some big chunks. These are all big files, but see how they're all in this folder? So when I can do this also, I guess I should say. When I click on these things, I can see which folders are the biggest folders I've got. Like that's a good chunk of my hard drive right now. That's a good chunk of my hard drive right now. And I can safely, let's say, move this folder, right, and move it off my hard drive, move it someplace to one of these shared portable drive, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So I use this WinDirstat, Windows directory. I don't know what stat's supposed to mean. Status, maybe? I use this to determine, oh, look, I can do this. This is what I was trying to do before. So I can make the visual part of it much larger because I don't really care about the hierarchy. For me, I know what my computer's like. But if you're trying to diagnose somebody else's computer, this is a free, unobtrusive little piece of software you can use to help diagnose and locate and use to determine what you're going to use to free up some space or whatnot. Now this stuff that looks crazy down here, these are tiny little files. These are probably computer files or text files. And when you look at this one, this one video file here compared to whole sections of the drive which are composed of tiny little files, I find this a visual way of mapping out your drive, visualizing your data, a real fast way to now, again, I can go in and I know I can take, and it makes sense. I have all this in a temporary file. The way I organize my stuff is I keep a lot of my files that I'm not going to keep long term on the hard drive in a temporary file. So I pretty much know these are the files I'm going to be removing. But now I have a visual idea of how big those are compared to, the rest of the computer's hard drive capacity or space. And I know that this folder happens to be a big chunk of them. And then this one next to it, also a big chunk of them. And this is a project I haven't worked on since 2022. So I'm pretty safe that I can pull this off and put it on a spare drive. So that's the point of this one, just to show you this tool that I use. I needed to install it again, so I figured I might as well do a quick video. Now I have a link to these drives. This is the drive I'm using now. It's a little tiny thing. It's a solid state drive, and this is 2 terabytes, it says. So this thing can hold quite a bit of data. It connects with a USB to the laptop. I guess I could just push this over here. It's just connected to the USB port. And now I know I can take, see, I'm looking at this software right here on the computer. I know that I can take this folder and move it over onto this hard drive to store. And I know this stuff is safe. That's weird. It's froze on me weird. I wonder what that did to the video. All right, well, that's the video. If you want to grab one of these hard drives, I got a link to them. They're cheap. They're cheap, about 60% of what I paid for mine. I don't know what makes them go cheap. Maybe the international price of chips or something. But as I'm filming this thing is quite a bit. It's 2/3 as much as what I paid for it. But I think they're worth it. I buy one a year and then kind of move everything over to it that I'm not using on my hard drive. And then last year's, which I can't show you because it's plugged in on the other side of the computer, is it's got some overlap. So I'm going to put some of that, your stuff, onto this one. And, stuff I've been using. I'll take the stuff off the hard drive and put it over here. Now I'll plug this one in over there. I'll take that one and put it in a storage. And this one will be my spare drive during the year that I'll work off of. Every once in a while, I'll back this one up. And then that keeps my main hard drive nice and free for software and mainly for software and the operating system. All right, hope that helps. If you have any questions about it, of course, let me know. Mostly made this for our Patreons, people that help us keep our projects online and pay for our servers and stuff. This kind of basic maintenance and tech, some people aren't familiar with it. And if you need a little insight, that's what this was all about. If you'd like a little bit more specific data or info on this stuff, let it reach out. That's what we're here for. Thanks for watching. I'm going to throw a quick commercial up for our store just so that it's classy at the end.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.